Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Plip Plop Gaming. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded. It's been about 2 years, and I'm sorry for such a long delay. Everything's been kind of hectic, over the past 2 years. I got married, bought a house, and had a kid, and have been a dad. So it really, really eats into my ability to express myself creatively through YouTube. And so I finally was able to, sit down and play a game that I've been looking forward to really since the original was discontinued, and that's Splitgate. Splitgate 1 was discontinued back in 2022. They announced that they were going to work on releasing a AAA title, and I've been looking forward to it ever since. But really, I'm just glad to be back here, and I'm excited to share my experience with you. This isn't my initial gameplay. Unfortunately, I was up in Maryland, visiting my wife's family. Well, I guess it wasn't unfortunate, but I was up in Maryland visiting my wife's family and was away from my computer and didn't have the ability to record my initial playthrough. But let's go ahead and hop into some actual gameplay right here. So this is me playing on mouse and keyboard. And while I was in Maryland, I actually played on controller. Grew up playing games on, Xbox, so I'm very, very used to and comfortable with, playing on a controller. And it didn't feel super alien to me, but there is a significant difference between my abilities to, play on controller versus mouse and keyboard. And so I'm actually glad that I have that distinction and I'm able to share my thoughts on both. Splitgate has a marvelous just a marvelous idea that sets itself apart from other shooters, and that's the ability to portal. And so one of the issues with most games that are cross-platform is balancing between console and PC. And so, PC, obviously, you've got, almost better movements, you've got better aiming with mouse and keyboard. And so one thing that developers struggle with is balancing between, accuracy afforded by mouse and keyboard and controller. And so one thing that I think the developers, especially if they're watching, I think the developers could do would be to perhaps enhance the aim assist on controller. I notice when individuals portal, like if they could somehow enhance the aim assist with portaling, so if you just shoot in the direction of a portal, perhaps it sticks. But then also one thing that you have the ability to do in this game is give a portal overlay. So you can put a portal on someone else's portal as opposed to the original one where you had to, throw an impulse grenade and then it made the portal disappear. In this game, you can overlap your portal with someone else's. And so as a strategy, you can use that to close someone else's portals, but however, when you play this game, the portals cheat over. If you don't have to overlap someone's portals, it doesn't let you. So perhaps a mechanic the developers could add would be to create a bias for controller players to have their portals overlapped on someone else's portal as opposed to cheating it off to the side and, forcing your opponent's portal to stay open. That's just my 2 cents on the matter. Perhaps a way that controller players could be given a leg up, not only having aim assist for shooting, but having aim assists for portals as well. The way this game plays, it's incredibly smooth. It's so hard to think that right now this is an open alpha. The gameplay is amazing. It plays better than most AAA titles that are released, and you have to get a year of live service to get the game really to a playable state. This is already like in an amazing space. Like it's already super polished, super well done, and I genuinely think that like the developers don't have much else to fix. Playing, I think I put about 10 hours into this open alpha all day, and I didn't run into any issues at all. So there isn't much left, or at least from what I was able to tell, that the developers can improve before they go ahead and release the full game. One of the issues, though, that I am concerned about with this game is the fact that the developers may not, they may not release the full game in time to capitalize on the momentum of what they were able to produce. One of the issues with Splitgate 1 is it released in 2019, it didn't have a ton of traction, and then in I think it was late 2021 or early 2022, this game blew up on TikTok, and the player base increased tenfold. You had 20-30 minute queue times trying to get into a game because the servers were just at capacity. And so it was amazing for the game. It gave the developers the capital that they needed to be able to develop a game that was worthy of mainstream status. However, the hype for the original Splitgate lasted 2 weeks and then was overshadowed by a significantly more developed AAA title, and that was Halo 6. As we all know, Halo 6 was just an absolute garbage game. I think it released with 3 maps, and they really banked on everybody's ability to, or they really banked on everybody's desire for nostalgia, wanting a game that you grew up playing as a child. So the original Splitgate, even though it was a fantastic concept, was overshadowed by people's desire for nostalgia and an older video game. So hopefully with Splitgate 2, they capitalize on the momentum that they've built with the open alpha. They capitalize on the momentum of the hype that this game is generating within the community, and they don't drag their feet upon with a full release, and they can get out a full release as soon as possible. I mean, one of the issues is Splitgate 2 is going to compete with Grand Theft Auto 6 this year, and I know Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be a console release, but really that's 2/3 of the player base right there. You've got PlayStation, you've got Xbox, and then you've got PC. 2 out of 3 of those are consoles, and 2 out of 3 of those are going to get Grand Theft Auto 6 this year. So hopefully this game isn't overshadowed by the hype that the new Rockstar game is going to generate. Unfortunately, too, this game really hasn't been advertised at all outside of the community members who are passionate about this game looking for it. The developers have been completely silent. They're not really giving any information about release dates. I feel like this open alpha kind of dropped out of nowhere. They're like, hey, we're releasing an open alpha in 2 weeks, please hop on and play. And that's it. When you ask about a full release date, they're saying, it's like, yeah, we plan to release it sometime in 2025. That's it. If they want this game to get mainstream attention, if they want this game to really get the love that I think it deserves, because again, it's such a unique concept for a video game outside of just aim and shoot. You do have the added maneuverability of portals that I would say are on par with the concept of Titanfall and wall running. Like, it's such a novel idea, and I think it's been executed so well in Splitgate 1, and it's been polished, so beautifully in Splitgate 2. But I really think 1047 Games need to sink more money into advertising. Just because, again, outside of the passionate group of players who have been following this game through development, there hasn't been any information, no commercials, no ads, no nothing, and the developers are staying silent. So 1047, if you are watching this, please give, A, us, the community, but B, also everyone else, some information about this game so it can gain some traction and not be dead on arrival. But outside of, all of the potential negatives within this game, I am incredibly pleased with it. Again, it's just so beautiful. They've done an amazing job. I'm incredibly optimistic with where this may go because there is so much content even in the alpha, and the developers are testing out what they want to add versus, you know, what they may hold off and cycle out for different game modes. You know, there seems to me a deep bench of different options, different products, different game modes that are in the works that could be available upon arrival. And so it really makes me optimistic for what this full game is going to look like upon release. Like, are we going to see a battle royale? You know, like the gameplay that you're seeing here, these 8v8v8 maps, they're huge. I imagine upon release they're going to be, you know, 3 or 4 or 5, and if those could all be combined into a single map for a battle royale, you know, that could be something that rivals, you know, the titan that is Fortnite. And I would love to see that because the developers deserve that love, because I know they've put so much effort into this game, and so I would just love to see it flourish. But, you know, also you're seeing game modes tested out like Search and Destroy, like Team Doubles, like you know, Team Deathmatch, Demolition, or I guess they call it Firecracker, Domination. So they have a ton of game modes that they can implement, not just on a 4v4 scale, but, you know, on a larger game mode scale as well. So that would be really awesome to see. I'm super excited to see what the developers have in store for us, and I just can't wait for this full game to release. My wife can tell you that I have been talking about this game non-stop since 2022, when they announced the closure of, or, you know, stopping development of the original Splitgate and focusing their attentions on a true AAA title. So I'm unbelievably over the moon to see where this game goes. But outside of that, I don't really have many more thoughts. Again, really the developers could just work on some quality of life improvements like aim assist. You know, they really need to focus on bringing attention to the game through advertising and really giving more information other than we're going to release in 2025. But again, there's a ton of content. The game is incredibly polished, and I'm super excited for what the developers have in store for us. But outside of that, I think I'm going to end the video here. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for, you know, tuning in and, you know, listening to what I have to say after a 2-year hiatus. I'm so excited to be back, and when Splitgate 2 releases, I definitely plan on publishing more content for you all to tune into. And I'm excited to restart this journey with you. But that's going to do it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to drop a like, hit subscribe. I'm revamping the channel, so you're definitely going to see a lot more content coming soon, and I'm excited to get to restart this channel for you all, and I'm excited to share my YouTube experience with you all. But until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful night, and plop out.